Hey guys, what is up? And if you're excited once again for the top Android apps, this time for the month of August, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's not waste any more time and get straight into the video. So getting straight into it, we have an app called Chrono, and in a way, Chrono is much more than just an Android app because it essentially works by syncing your computer with your smartphone and allowing you to access all of your notifications as well as a bunch of other stuff from your phone right off of your computer. Now when it comes to setting it up, it's also very simple as well. All you have to do is download the app on your phone and then install the extension on your web browser, and from there all you have to do is scan the QR code with your phone and you're in. It's as simple as that. And obviously notification access is a huge part of Chrono, but there's also many other features that can be just as useful, as you can see here. So for example, if I just click on paste to clipboard here, it will instantly copy whatever I've copied on my computer straight over to my phone, and then from there I can just paste it right off of my phone. You can also transfer files from your computer to your phone, but unfortunately you can't transfer files from your phone over to your computer, so that would be something I definitely like to see in the future. You can also make your phone ring as well, so if you've lost your phone and it's connected to Wi-Fi, you can easily find it, and what's so cool about that is even if it's muted and you don't have phone service, it will also work as well. Overall though, it's just a very useful app if you want a better experience between your phone and your computer, and if you've ever envied Mac and iPhone users for that seamless experience between devices, this is definitely worth trying because it can at least give you some of that experience when you're switching between your phone and your computer. I think it's safe to say that most of us probably have tons of screenshots piled up on our phones, and besides just manually looking for whatever it is you need, for most phones there's not really a good way to find that old screenshot that you took a while back that has some super important information on it. And that's where this next app called Screenshot Go comes in. This app is made by Firefox, and essentially the way it works is it will go through all of your screenshots and recognize any text in them, and that will basically just make them searchable, so you can just tap here and easily search for whatever it is you're looking for. Once you've found it, you can also choose to tap and copy it to your clipboard, which is a nice addition, and it also lets you create collections just to have a little bit more organization. Besides that though, the app doesn't really have any other main features to take up space, which makes this super clean, and it's also incredibly simple to use. And honestly, I test out tons of apps when I do these videos, and I just rarely come across apps that I plan to use long term, but I can tell you right now, this app is definitely one of those apps just because of how much quicker it makes me when I'm looking for a screenshot and just how useful it is. If you've ever used a phone with MIUI on it, you'll know there's a lot of features that make it unique from stock Android, and one of those things is the notification shade. And with this next app called MeUIFy, you can basically get that on any Android phone. Now when it comes to features, there's a few things that might make you want to switch over from the stock notification shade, and first and probably the biggest one is that you can access it with just a swipe up from the bottom of your screen, so it's a lot easier to get to instead of having to reach up and swipe down. Unfortunately though, that also means that it doesn't really work with gesture navigation on phones that support that, like my OnePlus 7 Pro here. But besides that, you also have a lot of other customization with the option to add extra quick settings and even shortcuts to other apps and websites. It's also super clean looking, and it just feels very well designed and definitely worth checking out. Next up is Deepstash, and Deepstash is one of those self-help type apps, but what makes this unique is that it gives you articles from several different popular sources, and it will then condense them down into short bits of really helpful information that's easy to read without taking a lot of time out of your day to read the entire article. So with this app, you can get the main core ideas from a really wide range of articles about a lot of different topics like life hacks, financial advice, time management, problem solving, just a lot of stuff in general, really too much to list here. And overall, it's just a great app for anyone that just wants to take an extra 5 minutes out of their day to read through here, and you never know, you might find something that just makes a big difference when it comes to helping you be more productive. Moving right along, we have Gallary Go, which is Google's own gallery app. Now, you might be thinking, what about Google Photos? And really, this is a very different app from Google Photos. For a start, this is completely offline, so it won't back up any of your photos. It also doesn't have the search function like Google Photos, as well as quite a few other features, although it does create groups of your photos over time, so it's a bit easier to find them over my stock gallery app. Overall though, this is just made to be a super basic and simple replacement to the stock gallery app that comes pre-installed on your phone, but with the added benefit of a bit more organization with it automatically grouping your photos into categories. It also comes with some options for editing your photos like auto enhancements as well as filters with the option to rotate and crop your photo, but most of those edits are pretty basic and you can't really make any major edits. Next up we have Skit, and Skit is an app manager that lets you easily view all of your apps in one place, even the system apps that are normally hidden away, which is pretty cool. What's nice about this over just looking at your apps within settings is that while it's super clean looking, it also gives you access to tons of information about each app. Honestly, more than I would personally ever need. You can see things like all of the permissions an app has, which is useful, as well as activities and way more. And by tapping here, you can also choose to do some pretty typical stuff with the app, like open it up, uninstall it, share it, obviously delete it. But if you tap here, you can also extract the app and save it as an APK, which is a very cool feature. Overall though, this is just a great app manager if you want to know just about everything you would ever need to know about all of the apps you have installed on your phone. As storage in our phones is getting bigger and bigger, we're installing more and more stuff on our phones, and between all of the apps, contacts, documents, videos, etc., it can get really hard to find something quickly, and this next app called Fast Finder, like the name suggests, helps to make that a little bit easier. So with this app, you can choose to add a search bar to your home screen with a widget and search through almost everything on your phone. Once you tap on the search bar or the app, just type in whatever it is you want and you can open it just like that. If you go into the app settings, there's a lot of different options to customize. You can choose what types of things show up in your search, and as you can see here, there's a lot of different stuff you can search for. The appearance of the search bar and results is also really customizable as well, so it can fit in with basically any Android setup. On top of local searches on your phone though, you can also tap on any of these once you've searched for something to go straight to that site. This is definitely another app I'm going to start using a lot, and I already have it set up so I can just swipe over to the shelf on my OnePlus phone to access its widget, so it's there whenever I need to search for something. So this next app, Moser, is a measuring app that allows you to basically measure anything using just your phone. But it does it in a way that's a bit different from most other measuring apps on the Play Store. Now right now, most apps out there like Google's measuring app work by using augmented reality. Moser on the other hand works by using your phone's accelerometer and gyroscope. It's also just simply more advanced in what it lets you measure when compared to most other measuring apps. Before you can use it though, it's a little bit more complicated to set up and you'll want to watch the tutorials to get a better idea of how to use it. But the general gist of it is that you simply align the side of your phone with the side of the object from where you would like to begin your measurement. Simply tap here and then just begin to move your phone in the opposite direction towards the other end of whatever it is you're measuring. Just tap that same button again and it will give you the distance between those 2 points. There's also other things you can measure like angles for example, and overall I found it surprisingly accurate. In fact, it even asks that you give it the exact dimensions of your phone down to the 100th of an inch, because for each time you're measuring something it has to account for the size of your phone, which should indicate just how accurate this app can be. So if you've been paying attention to my home screen setup, you might have noticed that my icons look a bit different than the normal stock OnePlus icons, and that's because I'm actually using the Borealis icon pack. Now, unlike the other apps on this list, this icon pack is not free, but I wanted to include it anyway as the last app, just because I'm a big fan of how it looks with its square design with rounded corners. Just overall, it's a very clean look. If you're going for a setup that's very consistent in icon size, this is definitely worth the price. Arguably the best part about this icon pack though is just the huge number of icons it has at 14,000, which currently is the most of any icon pack I've personally used. But that about wraps it up for this video. That's about it for my picks for the best Android apps of August. Of course, if you have any suggestions for apps I should check out, let me know in the comments because I'm always open to checking out some new apps that you guys recommend. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in my next video.